Hello you guys. So yeah, so this could be 2 videos in one day. I'm not sure when I'm going to upload this. I'm hoping that I can do it today as well. But I wanted to talk about do like a little journal with me in my daily composition book. So we are on December 3rd, and as I kind of set up my journal in the I set up my journal in the latter part of November, and now we're in December. I have also offered to have a scavenger hunt, and I took my first photo on December 1st, and this was of the wreath, and this was a photo that was down on when we did the Scveneger the wassail tasting, and so I wanted to somehow incorporate like a collage of photos into my journal, and so I thought I would bring you guys along with me. And then I thought at the end of this video I would do like a really quick starting from scratch, starting from a blank page. I've had some questions on, well, I had one question, I shouldn't say questions, plural, but Miss Lisa asked about how do you start on a blank page, that she can't get her journal going, that she's just very frustrated. So I thought I would kind of go through just how I kind of would do a standard startup of a page. So let's go ahead and get started and making so I thought I would do like a fold out of for my scavenger hunt photos. So this is still the mix and mingle kit I've been using, paper I've been using. I won this in a giveaway, and this is by Simple Stories, and Kelly Bangs created this beautiful paper. So I think I'm going to continue with this Oh What Fun. You saw it in my last video with in my December daily, and I thought this would be kind of fun because this is kind of a fun little thing to do. And I wanted to do something that was kind of neutral, since I'm going to be doing lots of what's on the other side of this? Let's see here. Since when you open this up, so we're going to have Oh What Fun, I wanted to do kind of like some neutral background, so I didn't have to, it really showed the pictures fairly well. Let's see what's on the back side here. Just kind of trying to do something more subtle so that when you open this up, maybe I'll do those. Okay, so we'll put that away, and I'll put this away for now, and then we're going to do like a major tip-in fold out. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use some washi tape. Let's see if we got some different wider washi for this particular one. I'm going to be using some washi tape, and we're going to fold this over. Get it started here. I'm basically going to put it on the other side here, line it up. Oop, got a hole punchy thingy. So that way we're going to create like a fold out. Trim those edges off. Like that. And then that way, when we tip it in here, let's see here. I'm doing some wider washi just to do more stability, since it will be very heavy decorative by the time you add your photos and your ephemera. So I'm going to add cut this off. And then I'll add one more piece of washi along here. Let's see. I think I'll do this. I'm actually, believe it or not, really liking I think I mentioned that in the last video, or a couple of videos ago, that I'm really liking this thicker washi, especially for doing jobs like this in your journal where you have to have the tip ends. Because I have, you know, as I mentioned, yeah, I did mention it in a video, where if your washi starts coming undone, you can add some glue along there. So here we have it. We have a little cute tip in, and what I actually might do is just put some washi down the middle here, just to secure that as well. Just kind of trying to figure out a good color. Maybe I'll do the trick. Even though that's more. And this one, I have used it. It's like, I think it's over with. That red and white striped. Oh, I love the birds. Even though they're kind of sideways, I think I'm going to go with it. That's another one that's been my favorite. You can tell it's really getting down to the low end of the washi. Okay. I've got a mess on my desk, but as I mentioned in my last video, my daughter is helping me organize my art room, and I'm so excited. Okay, so make sure that this shuts okay. There we go. And then this will be like a little tip in that folds out. So I think what I'm going to do is cut out one of my little sheets here. These are all the same. I just put different backgrounds to kind of go with whatever whatever your color might be in your journal. And actually I'm going to add one of these to my purse so that I can kind of, because it was weird when when I took this photo, we actually kind of got off the beaten path and we were like walking behind some buildings, and it was kind of like a little on the creepy side because I was laughing. I said, this is when things happen, you know. And anyway, what we ended up doing was I walked past this old railroad station that's like a museum, and it had these beautiful wreaths that had these lanterns in them, and I thought, oh my gosh, I love that. And here, you know, it's wreath, you know, and so I thought, well, that was perfect. That was meant to happen. So I think what I'll do on this, for this little, here, I'm going to do another tip in, so that way we have them as like on this page. When I made this list, as you can see, there's more than 25, I think, on here. So it was just more or less to give some different ideas. So I'm going to add this. Actually, we can trim that off. Oops, kind of ripped it. I'll add another piece of washi in there to secure that a whole lot better. Picking out. I like this. Actually, I'm going to use it to add to that wreath, because it's got the greenery on there with the pine cones, which I love. And then somehow we will mark it on here. Maybe put like a little mark through. And I thought about maybe cutting this one out. And adding it. I want to keep that, a little bit of those colors in there. So cute. Let's see, do we have a little something that we can add? Maybe another holly that we can add to the page. All right. Make sure I can still fold that. Fold that up. Fold, fold, fold. Yep. All right. So we got our first scavenger hunt was a wreath. And you know what? I really and truly need to write. I don't know. We need to figure out where. I want to definitely write the location somewhere. So that is definitely going to be one of the things that I do. Okay. So let's pretend we are starting from scratch. We have two blank pages. I'm actually supposed to be, when I counted these out, I'm supposed to include 2 days on each one of these. So I have no idea what I'm doing on these days. But let's just say that you're wanting to start out on your Christmas, doing a Christmas page. So what I would probably, first thing I would do is pick out some really pretty papers and maybe some stickers. So we're going to get some pretty paper, maybe some stickers, some journaling cards. You could do ephemera. I mean, anything goes, but I'm going to just kind of start with, and this again is like incorporating that, I'm kind of going with the whole thing with all the, I guess with all my journals is going with the pinks, with the traditional colors. So what I like to do is add, especially because we have, this isn't even Christmas paper, but the green looks like it to me. What I like to do is, we have so much pretty papers, and you could use books, you could use book pages, anything goes. So I'm going to tear this out just because you could cut it if you don't like torn pages, but I like the look of torn pages. So, and then just add, and this is typically how I start out my journal pages, is I like to add some sort of background paper, not all the time, but you know, and then a lot of times I like to add color, you know, so we have, this green is a little darker than what I'm used to, but I do like to add some color, maybe around the edges here. If you wanted to do like watercolor, you could definitely add watercolor. You know, maybe do some more. These are distressed stains, and I know that they're not really available, but definitely you can use watercolor, or these work really well. Daubers. So, and you're going to be covering up this too, so don't be afraid to get if you get a little wild on it. Everything is fixable if you're not liking it. So I'm just definitely, you can use the daubers as a background, you know, it also works. These are available on Amazon as well. Never Hopeless Elizabeth got me using these too, especially since the distressed inks aren't available anymore. Okay, and then let's see here. So again, I'm going to be adding, because I've kind of counted out my pages, and I've run short because I started doing double pages at the beginning. If you guys saw all of that in the other videos. So, but this is in the middle of the week. Let's look and see what day, since I added a calendar. Oh, it's this week. It's this next week. Oh, 9/10 is a weekend though. What am I doing on the 10th? Oh, yeah, that's my plan on wrapping that day. So, I'm going to do 7/8 on here, and I might just double up on another page somewhere. I got to figure that out. In the end, if I run out of pages, I will do tip ends. So we can fix it. So I'm gonna act like this is day, what is 7 and 8? We just looked at it and I already forgot. 7 and 8 is Wednesday and Thursday. So I will do like Wednesday and Thursday on here. I'm trying to think what's going on. I don't think anything is, which is always nice. So 7, 8, and then this will be like 9. Again, we don't have to make that decision now, but I'm just kind of putting that in my head now. So we have some background, we have some pretty paper. You're like, oh, well, what about pretty paper over here? We can definitely add pretty paper over here, but I thought I would do something a little bit different since we are trying out new things. Let's see what we got here. I'm trying to just kind of come up with some different ideas for you guys. Just to come up with some. I was going to look at this really fun little, see if we had any Christmas themed paper up here. If you did a coloring page, that would be really pretty. Like a coloring book page, if you colored a coloring book page and you wanted to document that, you could do that. Here's some book pages. We're going to tear out a book here. And you can see I grabbed some tissue paper. So, yeah, so I'm just kind of coming up with some different ideas. I'm going to tear this because we're going to use just a piece of this. And what I like about tissue paper is it's transparent, so you can still see underneath. If you wanted to add, oops, make sure you get the edges. Whatever you're putting down, that's what tends to come up. If it comes up later on, you can add more glue to it. Oops. And this is also like, even though I use an example of, oh, I'm going to be cutting, what am I saying? I'm going to be wrapping presents that weekend. You can actually, which I do this in every journal, I put in the wrapping paper that I'm going to be using. Like, especially if I have a particular one. So again, if you're working on this, and I can see somebody, a frustration like, oh, this looks, just keep adding things. And if you add things and you're like, oh, I don't like it, just go to the next page, and if you want to come back and play around with it, you can. If not, just keep on moving. Don't stop just because you're not happy with a particular page. Let's see what I got on the other ones. I thought it'd be fun to add some journaling cards. Oh, I love this. I'm so into doors this year. So we're going to add a little tag on this one side. And again, I'm just really kind of prepping my pages for my journaling. And this is really kind of handy too to do if you, so you get a jump start on your pages. And it's fun, right? Because you get to play, and you get to glue, and you get to pick out pretty papers, and ephemera, and all those fun things. And especially if you're doing this like a Fobonichi style where you're doing actually one page, which is typically what I do, is one page per day. But my weekends sometimes are more busy where I'll do like a 2-page spread. So I don't really commit to my pages early on. Like I typically do not sit down and do one in a whole month. Like do the whole like every day, because like I said, I don't know what's happening. If we have like an activity that I end up using 2 days on, I want to be able to have that chance to do that. Now, one of the things that I also like to use quite a bit is like these cards. What are they called? Not postcards, but index cards. And I know this one came from Dollar Tree because they always have like stacks of them. Fairly inexpensive, $1.25 for quite a big stack, and I like to use the colorful ones, so I'll just add that in here. As you can see, I still see some of the book paper, and you know, in reality, it would be nice if it was like maybe a Christmas story or something, you know, that you have an old book of that you're like, oh, it's falling apart, I'm gonna use this. But in this case, I had just a random book that I use in quite a bit of my journals. So, okay, so I'm going to add a tree in here. See how it's all just kind of coming together? You're just picking out pretty things, layering it up. And this is where I would probably come in and add like, got to get those edges of the die cuts, especially when you get to the latter part of your book, because it starts doing that big, you know, it's not so flat. But here's like an old, some of this stuff I've had forever, you guys, but this is like an old card that I've kind of cut on. But I've had some of this stuff for like ever. You can see it's kind of been eaten up by something. I probably got it like at either an estate sale or... And that doesn't go with anything. It kind of goes here. And see, like right here I would put my date and numbers. But one of the things too about pre-decorating is sometimes you get so excited about adding all your pretty papers and ephemera that you don't leave space for writing, and that is so important to write things. Ooh. Glue went wild. So yeah, so I mean, again, just adding layers. So I'm going to go ahead and hypothetically, right, so we have 2, 3, 5, 6, I'm going to do 7 right on this page. See if I can find my numbers. And the 7th is Wednesday. So we're going to find a Wednesday. Wednesday the 7th. Put it up in the corner. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this the 8th. Well, let me just keep this as is. Since I had this marked the 7th, 8th, I need to go through here, and I must have made sense of it throughout this whole thing. But I'm going to just keep this as Wednesday because I don't know what's going to be happening, and I don't want to put in my stickers and then regret going, oh, why did I put 2 days on one when this happened this day? And it's a one-day worthy event. So that kind of gives you an idea of starting out a page. I mean, you can just layer. You can come in here with some washi tape. Washi's always so pretty to add to to your page. I'm trying to see if I have anything with some, I'm incorporating some pinks and some greens, maybe. Oh, looky here. Of course, it's not really the same pink color, but. And the thing with the index cards too is if you, say for instance, you added a picture here, or maybe some ephemera you picked up, or maybe a gift receipt, or a restaurant you went to, brochure here, then you can use these for writing. That's one of the things that I love about having the index cards. You can also run washi down the middle if you wanted to do more of a separation. But again, once I typically get into decorating here, like for instance, this is a Saturday that we had where I taught a class. I still need to do my journaling, and there's still more pictures that I need to add in here. But this kind of gives you an idea where it was a one-page spread. I just kind of, this is tissue paper in order to make it more, you know, that it's one page. This was from the pizzeria, is from the actual place where we ate, the menu. So just kind of keep that in mind. Again, decorating. I check out some other videos. I know that you probably already have if you're at this point, but that's just kind of a base that I would start off with. And then the next page I would do the same thing. I would do like a cluster. Like this one I actually already have. To me, I would consider this already a cluster. And I would maybe come in here and like just add something, maybe a cute little tab or something that can hang off the end there. But I kind of do a little cluster of decorations, and then I use the rest for journaling and adding photos. Alright, you guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope this was a fun journal with me. I know I had fun. I'm so excited to start figure out other scavenger hunt holiday photos. So, alright, y'all have a super sparkly day, and I will see you. Oh, yes, I wanted to use this. Shall we put some in, or shall we wait? I think I'll wait. But I bought this when I was in Houston, and it is so pretty. Maybe I'll go ahead and add it. Sorry, I almost said goodbye, but not yet. I just love this. It was at the it wasn't the Dollar Tree, it was called Dollar King, I think, which I've never heard of them before. But I think I mentioned it in my other video that it's not $1.25, it's not $1. Most everything is $1.89. So my hand's shaky. Okay, there it is. It's me just trying to push that, get the glue out. And I'm going to just put it down where the sequins are at, get my scissors so I don't burn my fingers. Even though, Elaine, I appreciate you sending me the non-burner. You sent me a happy mail, thank you, that's so sweet. But she sent me so I don't burn my fingers, and I need to use them. I need to put them on my desk so I can use them. Isn't that just so pretty? Okay. Alright, you guys. Y'all have a great day. Happy journaling, and I will see you in my next video.